Hello everybody, it's Flesson19 and welcome back to Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. And I don't normally do this during the week. However, there has been so much information that has come out. I wanted to go ahead and update everyone as to exactly what's going on with a few topics. So without further ado, let us get into it. 1.5.7 itself I think we'll be out sooner than most people expect, and I don't think the time frame is that long. They've already said that they wanted 1.5.7 to come out faster than a normal patch, and while they have normal patches, they want to come out every month. They really haven't been lately. Therefore, they do want 1.5.7 out in a quicker time frame. I don't think it's going to be as big of a patch. However, it will contain some important things. So it would not shock me to see 1.5.7 come out either late this week or possibly early to mid next week. And there you have it. Confirmed by a developer, it will be in 1.5.7. So luckily we are going to have it. The only downside at this point is we still don't have an answer as to whether or not death is going to be completely implemented the way it should be, meaning 2% for everybody, including quests and simulated battles. We still don't have an answer on that. So that's going to be a huge downfall if they get the education system in where you need to play with death on. Now, I did want to run over a little bit concerning the economy. And in this message from Mexico, he mentions, first of all, about how many notables are going to be in your town. And this was a little bit of an important factor. When you have under 3,000 prosperity in a town, you're only going to have one notable. And by notable, I'm talking about an artisan or merchant. The gang leaders are completely separate and they are on a different system that is rolled, so they will not be on this system that I'm talking about. Their numbers are different. If you have between 3 and 6,000 prosperity, you're going to have 2, and if you have over 6,000 prosperity, you're going to have 3. Now, the reason why that's important is because if you have late game high prosperity, you're going to have more merchants or artisans in your town, even gang leaders, to recruit from. If your town drops in prosperity below one of those marks, the artisan or merchant will not leave you. However, when they die, then that means they won't replenish again. So therefore, it makes keeping high prosperity a very good thing. Now I want to touch base on castles. This is something that is being heavily discussed, and how to bring castles more in line that they are important. Now, there's a lot of ideas being floated. One of the ideas that Mexico has talked about is having castles not deal with loyalty and security. When it comes to rebellions, when that loyalty gets low, they stop working and doing things. And that's the same thing with helping in security. Security helps in that factor. So if it's low, you're going to make less in taxes because you don't have as many people working and doing things. If you eliminate the security and loyalty, you're going to make more money because everybody's going to be working at 100%. That is an idea that is being floated. However, from what he is saying, he's worried that it's not going to get enough attention from the people that actually implement it to make it work, which is a little shocking to me. I've already put in a message stating that this is early access and we should be trying out new things. This is the perfect time. So I'm not sure why everybody is so resistant to change, but he's trying to float that idea. But right now, at this moment, I don't think it's going to be in there. But these are ideas that we're floating out to make castles more important, because really a castle, I think it only adds a little bit more in training to troops. than a town does. So there's not really a huge advantage to having that, except I think it is a little easier to store troops in a castle. As far as the economy is concerned when dealing with caravans, one of the things that he had actually mentioned, and it is this thing right here. Every single merchant in the game has a caravan running in the game. So, therefore, the more merchants you have, the notables, the more caravans you're going to have, which means the more you're going to have them dispersing loot throughout the map. Now, in 1.5.5, it was not like this. Therefore, you had prices a lot wider apart. It made it easier to go ahead and trade, and it made it harder for people to buy. But now, under this new system, you have more notables, which means more caravans, things are spread out, prices are down. And if as we've talked about, if the prosperity of a town goes up, a new notable will spawn in that town, which means he will create a caravan. So that means, as he's seeing in this game, when you have 90 merchants, in the late game, the number of merchants were going down to 70 to 80 in 1.5.5. That's because they were dying off. So therefore, prices kept going up and up and up. And that's how sometimes you could get out of control snowballing prices. But now in 1.5.6, he actually sees the economy going up as far as being more caravans, because there's going to be more notables later. That prosperity of towns will slowly increase. And that will actually help keep prices down. So you're not going to have prices snowballing out of control. Caravans. And that is why caravans are a lot different in 1.5.5 compared to 1.5.6. Because of that fact that there are so many more out there on the map. As he said, assume there are 10 caravans on the map, you'll make huge profit. If the number of caravans increase per caravan, it reduces the price. So you're going to make a lot of money with 10. If there's 20, you're going to make half, and that's the whole point. The more caravans, the less you're going to make. So it was making 400 to 500. Now they're down to about 300, and they'll actually reduce in price as the game goes on. Now they are going to, in 1.5.7, put something in to increase it more than it is now. Since right now they don't make a lot, they do make some. I'm going to put up another caravan video here soon. I definitely will be doing that. There are some changes that have been made. However, I am waiting on Mexico to get back to me with a few tests to let me know what's going on with it, because there are a couple questions that I do have. So I'm waiting on the results of that test before I put out a caravan video. So right now, caravans should be pulling around 300 to 400 a day, 200 to 300 late game. However, they are going to bump up to 300 to 350 a day all the way through the game, hopefully in 1.5.7. There was one subject that I wanted to bring up that I don't think a lot of people know, and that is the AI increasing their troops into cap. Now, as you know, the AI runs across the map extremely fast because they don't carry a lot of things. This is another area in which the AI can get away with that. If you read this quote from Mexico, the AI do not need to have horses to upgrade troops to cavalry. So there's no connection currently, but I hope one day we can get rid of this AI cheat. So that's important to know, that AI, meaning your party members, do not need horses. It's kind of like the cheat when you want to upgrade troops into the noble lines or the special lines in which the bandit line. You can just give them to your companion if they have the perk, the 125 perk, and you don't. From what it appears here, it's the same thing. You could technically give your troops that are ready to upgrade into Cav to your companions, and they should be able to upgrade them to Cav. Now, of course, you don't want to have a choice. If you have a troop that's ready to upgrade, and they could become like the Sturgeon could become a Cav or an Archer, the AI might choose to make him an Archer. So that is just something to think about. The difference would be like the Kuzite line. Once you have him into a Kuzite, he's going to be a Cav. So that is something to remember. The AI right now do not need horses to upgrade their troops to cavalry. One of the thing that I wanted to touch on with caravans are making good money. All right, if you put out a caravan, it's going to make good money. And I put videos up on this. Right now, I can get a caravan to make $350, maybe upwards of $500 a day. However, for some reason, the more caravans you put out, the less money you're going to make. And this can drop all the way down to $200 a day. So right now, the obvious thought was, well, the more caravans you put out, the less money you're going to make. But think about it this way. If there are 100 notables on the screen and you put out one caravan and make 500, can you honestly tell me that if you put 4 more caravans out to go from 101 on the map to 105 on the map, is that seriously going to cut your profits in half? That doesn't make any sense. You're only adding 4% more caravans out there. How can you drop 50%? So that is something that Mexico is looking into now. He does have that boost coming in 1.5.7 to caravans. I will have that caravan video out, but I'm still waiting on a word from him as to what he figured out in his test. I was going to wait with this video until he figured it out. However, I wanted to get this video out early on in the week for everybody. The bad news at this point is that I still don't have a lot of information from the development team as to what is going on with a few issues, and that is concerning roguery and the death rate. I still haven't gotten final answers. Now, they did say they were checking into roguery. They did say that they were working on the death rate to get fixed, but Mexico had mentioned that there was a bug in it when doing quests. So that we do not know yet. Hopefully that will be the only problem and we can run death regular and even in simulations. Also, I wanted to mention there is still a problem with longer saves and map stuttering. The team knows that there is a memory leak somewhere in the game. They did try to fix memory leaks so it doesn't get worse the longer you play. They know there's a memory leak and they're trying to track it down. So if the game seems to get where it takes longer to save and it's longer to actually click in between screens, like when you're going to trade, they do know there's a problem and they are looking into it to try to find it. So as you can see in this video, there were quite a few things that I wanted to go over. This was not going to be a really quick short video. This is a lot of information that was actually coming out. Hence, I did not want to wait until Friday to do this because I'm going to get more information Friday on the beta branch, and that video could have come out to be 15 to 20 minutes long. So I wanted to at least come out with something to give you guys, and that way you can keep up on this and know what's coming, just in case the 1.5.7 does, in the slim chance, drop this week. Until Friday, take care, and thanks for watching.